Is this thing
You're
live?
doing a podcast. Welcome to For Entertainment Podcast, where all your entertainment needs are met in one place, one time, one area, one vicinity. Today, I have my wonderful Groundlings class participants that are joining me as guests doing a Zoom call. Everyone say hello to the world.
Hello, world.
Hi, world.
What up, world?
So today we have Chips, Lowell, Jay, Nate, who still has a shirt on. He promised it to be off. Nina and Sarah.
Baby dab.
Baby guy. Thank you all for joining. It's wonderful to see you guys. We haven't seen each other in 3 months?
Yeah.
So sad.
Months on months. How are you guys surviving the quarantine?
A lot of Warzone.
Good. Yes. Keep on playing that.
It's amazing. Y'all were hella talkative in class. Now y'all hella quiet.
No.
Don't be scared.
Just
where do you start?
You don't want
I
to-
literally just told you, how are y'all handling the quarantine? Literally just asked y'all a question.
Yeah, do we raise our hands?
Loaded question.
You don't have to. You can just jump in. Okay, so to get everyone started, just so you guys kind of know the gist of how this goes, I'm going to give you guys some information on what is happening in today's news, TV, music, and maybe movies, all that stuff, depending on how much time we have. Because I know I only have you guys for a short amount of time, which is fine. And then, of course, most of us are actors and performers. And, of course, Lowell is our wonderful businessman of the world. So
I'm a plumber.
And
performer.
he has a different perspective on things. And we're going to definitely talk about how insane this is going to be and what you guys think is going to happen. So let's just dive into that question. How do you guys think everything was going to happen with entertainment wise?
Oof.
Yeah, hard.
I
Well,
think that
so-
people want new content right now. And you know what? I think there's going to be a day where we get an email being like, hi, can you film this TV show using your camera, your phone camera? And we're going to say yes.
Oh God, I really hope that doesn't fucking happen.
I've gone on some commercials during all this where they are like, you have to film your part of the commercial.
At home.
What?
Yeah.
Did they
I've
send
seen
you like the lights and the camera or anything, or
Did you
just
feedback?
whatever you
Well,
have?
I only got called back for one that was like for Best Buy, but it was essentially they wanted like you to film your game, like either your entertainment setup, like for games and things like that, because they were trying to like capture people what they're doing during quarantine. So
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of video games, so I sent them that. But
I'm
another
qualified.
one.
Here's my resume.
I've heard a lot of people who are on production for TVs and movies and stuff they're going to start quarantining like together as groups before they film for like 14 days.
That makes sense.
And-
Jesus.
I mean,
Wow, that's a different take. Jesus,
Yeah.
I can't picture
Circle of
being
trust.
trapped with people. Yeah, that is a circle of fucking trust. Nate,
I
did
think-
you have something on this?
As far as like commercials and stuff.
Or just like anything, TV, movies, because in all reality, movies and TV are the ones that are halted production. Most TV shows have officially finished their seasons, so now they're going to have to go into production somehow, some way, if they want to stay on track for a debut for September and October.
Mhm.
The question
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of stuff's just gonna get pushed back, and it's gonna like a lot of stuff already was pretty much put on hold. So I think it's all gonna start to strategically be released. Because there just hasn't been a lot of content, like a decent amount, but even with Netflix, it's like usually like one big thing like every week usually. And I just think there was so much unknown where like people didn't even know how long it was going to be pushed back, that they're also trying to save that content because there's going to be a huge gap. I mean, there already has been like 3 or whatever months between like production, like when that happened. So if they don't kind of like hold stuff and like really plan out for like the worst case that far in advance, they'll kind of like, if they release too much too soon, it'll kind of back them into a corner. Where then, there's going to be, because I think at the end of the day, as soon as production starts, either way, there's going to be tons and tons of shows that are going
Pent up
to,
demand.
hopefully there's going to be jobs for a lot more people because there's going to be backlogged.
I don't think
Tom Cruise
production
can
will
only do
happen
one movie
in
at a
LA
time.
until 2021.
I feel like we're gonna get like a bunch of animations, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
voiceover
like,
work.
Yeah,
voiceover
voiceover
work, and like
Well, have you also noticed that there's been a trend in, and I've been amazed at how fast it's been happening. So about what, maybe about 2 weeks after the real big lockdown started happening, have you noticed that a lot of the commercials already started capitalizing on the situation?
oh yeah.
There's a lot of
totally.
like,
The
During
second
these
it happened.
we're
uncertain
with you
times.
along the way. We know that this is a tough time, and if you
Well,
notice it,
yeah.
it's all packaged B-roll for other types of commercials that they're
Yeah.
using, and then
Yep.
with the voiceover, all
Yeah.
stuff you can easily do from a laptop at home.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So
And
that was so
uh,
surprising to see how fast that they jumped on it, right?
a few countries internationally are allowing productions. Like Sweden, you could
Yeah.
shoot there, and
Iceland.
I think like
Oh,
in
Well, they're doing that
Japan-
herding. They're doing that immunity herding thing or whatever, and it's
Yeah.
not working.
Well, yeah,
So-
Sweden's not doing
Yeah.
good, but Iceland is, I think, okay.
Mm.
Oh,
and
Iceland?
they're-
Got it.
Let's go
Yeah.
there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to
But I
go
mean,
get
hey,
a spa. You
Sick.
know?
you know how people are. They're like find
whole
a
country's
fucking
a
place
spa.
to go shoot it.
All I know is
It
I
is.
do not want to see like 500 fucking movies and TV shows about this time.
No,
Thank you.
Ooh,
I agree with you.
Forget
Right?
about
Movies
it.
have been.
Like, don't put your fucking screenplay about this because it hurts.
I don't want to relive
Yeah, I
this.
think that's like for our kids to see like 20, 30 years from now.
Later.
Yeah.
Then it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this is the real shit that happened. Can I swear?
Everybody gained weight.
Dude, you just heard me like drop like 5 F-bombs
Dude,
before.
what do I do? All right.
Nate, your
Yeah.
video's a little smoky right now. I don't know if you want to address that.
You need some light.
No, but it's I get what you're saying. Like you don't see a lot of sitcoms about the Great Depression, you know?
No, but we're gonna see.
I would love a
so
sitcom
many-
about the Great Depression.
Yeah.
Why?
Looks like it's soup again tonight.
Oh.
Jan.
There's going to be a lot of stories where this is the backdrop of things. If you remember, like the Curious
Yeah.
Case of Benjamin Button, right? It was up
Yeah.
against Hurricane Katrina, right?
Mhm.
How
Yeah.
many stories are going to be based off
Mhm.
of a time in COVID, but it's
Right.
going to be these two people found each other,
You'll
or
see
it's
like
going to be
masks.
this
Yeah.
company this company went down to nothing and then it came back.
during
and-
COVID.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like Clorox
But also the
wipes.
tragedies of like,
Chloroquine-
somebody was
chlor-
coming
chlor-
up and then
Well,
like my
then add the
friend
number
got
of political movies. How many more like insider movies are going to be there about the
Oh
Trump
yeah, it's gonna be like The Report, but for the why didn't we do more testing?
I'm not gonna wear a mask. I don't need a mask. You can wear one if you want.
Wait,
but
did
I'm
you
not
guys see
going
the video where he pulls it out of his pocket? He goes, "Here it is.
Stupid.
I could wear it, but I'm not."
The dumbest shit. It's like, I don't need a mask. It's fine. I wore one over there. It's like, bitch, that's not how it works. You know what? If
Dude,
you
you
want to
get to
get it,
go into a store and look
Ooh.
like a dope ninja. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty fun.
I have a
Double-
whole bunch of like Disney themed masks. I'm very proud of this.
Ooh.
So it's just like,
Wow.
just get a nice
Cool.
mask.
Yeah, they're
Look
collecting
at
items
I'm
now.
impressed by that. Where are your Renaissance fair masks though?
Yeah, no, I am done with medieval, so I do not need
Sorry.
any more.
Seen-
Even though I
Okay.
did see on Medieval Times Facebook page that they our Dallas Castle, or not ours anymore, but they
You're not
have.
done. You're not done with it.
I'm never fucking done with this place. But pretty much they're making masks out of the cloth that from the old shows. So if you want one, I believe Medieval Times is gonna
Resourceful.
fucking
Look,
start
I
selling
want
them.
Sweaty
armor.
night
I want
mask.
armor.
Yeah.
There's probably some
Sweaty
around.
night mask.
Let's be honest. But
Smells
I
of
totally
horse
agree with you, Sarah.
droppings.
If I see, because one show, All Rise on CBS, actually did a full episode where they did it through Zoom.
They did.
According to my mom, it was good. But to me, I'm just like, I am so over fucking Zoom.
Yeah,
As we
I
do a
check
Zoom
out,
call right
dude.
goddamn
Modern
now.
Family did it years ago.
You're
Modern
right,
Family
they did.
did an
They did it
entire
really
episode
well.
on FaceTime
Well, that was probably
Right.
funny because it was,
because it was
Right.
a
It wasn't
novelty.
real.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That was a good episode.
The SNLs I thought were okay.
Yeah. they
Dude,
weren't
There was a
They got
Beck
in the
Bennett
groove.
short.
Yeah.
He
They
did your
got there.
character, Chips. He was like the like lispy guy who was like, "Hey man, want to quarantine together?"
Oh yeah, he's
Do you
like,
think
"Oh,
he's
let me,
one of
let me live with you."
Yeah.
I love the master class.
yeah,
Oh
that's
my
Was Timothy Chalamet. That was a fucking fabulous. And also, yeah, you don't need a set.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very true. A lot of those were actually perfect for home. Like I
Mhm.
actually didn't mind like Davidson's shorts that he did for all the
the
raps that he
raps
did with
with-
Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Directed
perfect.
by his mom.
Oh
Yeah. Fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Now,
My
the
favorite.
biggest question that we have to focus on, because the one thing that we all have in common is the Groundlings Theatre. So, what do you think will happen class-wise for us? Because in all reality, we're improvisers, or we enjoy improv, and we're touching each other, we're close in each other's face, we're pushing each other. Like, how the hell are we going to do 6 feet apart? It doesn't feel like improv to me. It's not natural because you're constantly worrying about being too close or being too far.
I don't think they're gonna make us do 6 feet apart.
You think they will?
I don't think if when classes resume, that's gonna be it. I just think it's gonna be classes are gonna take a while to resume.
Mm-hmm. And I
2021.
think like weekly testing, like I think soon, like you're gonna be tested for coronavirus like all the time. And I think like to be in a class, you're just gonna be tested, like maybe not every week, but maybe
Temperature.
once every 3 weeks.
Do you think they're going to make the classes smaller? I mean, they're already 16
That's-
people.
I think it's going to be smaller classes, and they're only going to use like the big rooms, right?
Mm.
So that closet that we were in should
way.
not get used.
That was
Beautiful
like all
closet.
getting
Agreed.
coronavirus.
That is an
We literally
incubation.
all
That's for
got
one
coronavirus.
person now.
We all would have had it by now.
For
You
those
guys
of you who
remember-
do not know, a Groundlings class, they have multiple rooms at the school, and one of the rooms is quite small.
It's a
We've
fishbowl.
all done it.
Room 2.
It is
The
pretty
rooms
much,
are
yes. If you
small.
ever take a class, you'll see, go to room 2. That thing is hella small. Like my bedroom is bigger than that room. It's like it's a New York apartment. There we go. It's a New York
Mhm.
apartment.
Yeah.
It's tiny
It was
shit.
tiny.
And
I think
let's
they're
not
going to use
forget-
like the Gary Austin room. Like I think they're going to use
Yeah.
like the big
Oh
ones.
shit! Like the
If you
stage
use
and
smaller
stuff.
groups, bigger spaces, and then also tell people don't touch each other.
We
They
should
might even
just-
have to keep their masks on, which is really sucks.
Ugh.
but-
Oh, hell no.
No
Hey.
way.
How are you gonna make out?
Exactly.
Make out.
We all make out with each other in these classes. What the hell,
We're about to
man?
get a bunch of different emotional masks.
You're gonna have to start smizing, bitches. That's what you're gonna have to do. Start
Ugh.
smizing.
Okay.
That's
When,
boring.
like,
I'm
what
dead in my
month
eyes.
do you think we'll start taking classes again?
If
Fall.
any, like,
January.
like yeah,
February.
what Jay said, like
Next,
January.
next June.
Here's the thing, they're gonna follow like everything opening, and they're gonna follow the ebb and flow. So like if everything else starts opening, they're gonna probably give it a shot at least, and then it
Yeah,
might just
they'll just cap
Yeah.
the classes like 10, 12 people, whatever the guidelines are.
Yeah.
You know, to not
Yeah.
be wearing masks and whatever those are. And then I think just like be extra careful about like people washing their hands. Or maybe
Probably
they'll
take
even
it
have
out.
you like use hand sanitizer like after every scene or something.
So
Yeah.
I don't know
the-
what they would enforce
Governor
or if they
released-
would leave that up to you, but like I think it would definitely be possible. Hopefully, I mean, yeah, just like I don't know when anything else is gonna come back because like obviously
would
I was
say-
hearing we were shut down to the end of July, so like I don't know what's gonna be first.
Shit, I mean, Disneyland's closed until next year, which hurts my soul a little bit. But you know, that's just a whole. I'm so happy I ain't dealing with that shit. That's a whole nother fucking can.
Yeah,
of
they still
worms.
haven't canceled like Coachella, and there's different like music festivals and concerts still scheduled for the fall, but like all of those are gonna
No
definitely-
fucking way.
I think to get into a groundlings class, we're probably gonna have to pick a weapon and like duel each other.
Okay, that makes sense.
Left standing will probably
I'm gonna use my breath and my hands. That's all I need to kill you.
Jay has a weapon, so lol. Who would win, Jay's weapon or your breath and your hands?
Yeah, guys, this is just my practice sword.
I would let Jay's weapon win every time.
Mm. Wow. Okay, lol.
Oh wow.
See where
All
that
right.
went.
like in
Cool.
sex.
That,
Like a
thanks,
second.
Chips. Thanks, Chippy boy.
This
I
podcast is for
missed
6th
you.
graders. Like, be careful.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I just-
It's when
Like
two
for
friends.
coitus.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
coitus. That's what it. I had no idea. All right.
You guys
So
remember when Chris was sick the first day? No, the second.
the
He
no, he was
missed our
like
first
sick
class.
for like 4 days. It felt like.
If this happened now,
He
we
had
would literally
Rona.
like. I don't even. I think we'd call 911, right?
Now we would be like, homie's sick. He needs to get out of this class. No.
Neighborhood watch.
Even when he came in, he's like, I'm still getting over it. It's still so bad. Like, nope, leave. Walk
It's
out.
gonna be like Monsters Inc.
Wait, we should get Chris on
2319.
here. He'll
I
tell us
miss him
everything.
so much. I love
Right?
him.
He's
For
been
those of you who do
gaming.
not know, Chris Akehart was our teacher. He was one of the best teachers I personally have ever had in the Groundlings, and I've been doing Groundlings
Shout out
classes
Chris.
for like 2 years. No, like 2.5 years, or no, just kidding, 1.5 years. So definitely a great teacher. I recommend him if you can get him, but you can't choose your teachers. So best
He
of luck.
loves little kisses.
Does. I just like when me and Sarah caught him doing a vape pen. And he's just like,
In
what?
class.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, that was
remember
pretty
when he was giving
Caught
me
him.
the final review. He was vaping while he was doing that.
Oh yeah. And he was
We love a
looking
vape.
for it frantically, and he was just like, and then we saw him like,
It was definitely like a
Yep.
tobacco juice vape.
Oh yeah, for sure, because I couldn't smell shit.
Oh no, I thought he was getting high in our Groundlings class.
That's the only way to survive
I mean,
our
you never
high
know. Some
energy class.
naive
That's
citizen.
before, guys, and after,
He would
behind
never do that.
the dark room.
No, dark room.
Oh,
Damn.
dark guys. So I'm
I
right
miss the
across
dark
from
room,
that
man. I
area.
want a bar
It's
so bad.
So sad over
It's
here.
dead right now.
So sad. I would
I
take
just
a
gotta be
walk.
explaining it.
I go
Clean
to the
air, though.
coffee shop, and the
Jake.
guy's like, "Thank you, thank you." I'm like,
That's so crazy that you see the Groundlings every day, but you can't go inside.
Damn, that's torture.
Do you think the code still works? Do you ever go use the bathroom?
Dude, I tried one
I
time.
just didn't use the Groundlings bathroom
Alright.
one more time.
20 pound.
2020.
20
We're
pounds.
filling
There's
up our
nothing
water
better than
bottle?
walking in front of your teacher in front of those urinals, you know, and be
Yeah.
like, hey.
Totally know what you
Hi, dick
Yeah.
player.
Like, oh damn. All right. Well, we have discussed our lovely entertainment talk, but now it is time to get into some information. So, before I give you all this information, once again, all I'm asking is for your honest opinion. Let's try not to talk over each other. There's a lot of information, a lot of shit that is happening in television and movie news. Even though there's a pandemic going on, entertainment still has to happen because why? People go to entertainment when shit goes down. So, we are going to be talking first about some lovely television news. So, first things first, Emilio Estevez is apparently set to reprise his Mighty Ducks role for Disney Plus series. Now, which one of you actually watched the Mighty Ducks? I know I did.
I love Gordon
I own
Bombay.
all
I watched it.
three,
I don't
baby.
remember it.
Let's go.
I was very
The
Ducks
flying
fly
bee.
together.
Quack, quack, quack.
Really? Quack, quack, quack. So it's
Yeah.
pretty much been 25 years since the Mighty Ducks. Holy shit.
That's how
Holy
old I am
Goldberg.
this year.
You're
so.
old,
Hey,
man.
if you get a chance, go online and type like Goldberg today.
Oh, Goldberg's
Dude.
fucked.
Oh, he's like a hobo.
Wait,
ma-
screen share it. Someone screen share it.
Green.
Goldberg
Yeah,
went.
Joel.
He went bad. He went
Hey,
bad.
Joel.
Yeah,
Can someone
Joel.
screen share it?
It's
Joel.
a J Lo. It's a J Lo combo.
Hey guys,
Combo.
I'm Joel. What's going on?
Joel can do it. But
This is
according
Joel.
to Variety.com, the actor is set to reprise the role of Gordon Bombay, which he played in the original Mighty Ducks feature,
Classic
for the
character.
new sequel series coming to Disney Plus. Now, this was originally a movie, so now it's going to be a series. What do you guys think about that?
I'll watch it.
Did
I'd
anyone
have to
ask for
see
it? I'm
specs.
just curious. Like, did anyone ask for it?
No.
I think it has
that
enough
was on Gen X.
following that. Yeah. You got to share that the emotions and that emotional roller coaster of the Mighty Ducks. I mean, that's
Yeah.
every child playing sports needs to know that underdog story. And if there's
Yeah.
a way to put a modern spin on that, I'm all for it. But I just don't
They're
want to.
just pandering to the parents of toddlers who are like, "Mommy, I want Disney Plus," and they're like, "Well, I hate that shit." And they're like, "Oh, I like Gordon Bombay. I remember him."
As a
And
rule of
then-
thumb, I don't want to really watch anybody reprise a role like 25 years later. Like anything, I just like am not really interested.
didn't-
Like leave a good thing as a good thing. It's a.
Like
I mean,
El Camino.
I mean,
But Fuller House, guys.
I don't.
Oh, God.
I don't want to.
I didn't even watch it.
Fuller House and
Yeah, watch
Girl
it.
Meets World. I mean, come on.
Didn't watch
Didn't
that
watch
shit
it.
either. The
These
original
are
was
the
the best.
classics.
It's
But if you
best.
think
Leave
about
it
it, though,
be.
right?
Just let go.
But if you think about it, though, it makes from a business perspective, it makes complete sense because anybody from a Gen, so I'm Gen X, right?
Yeah.
We want nostalgia. We're now in the driver's seat to make the decisions, and then we get what we want, and then have our kids get into it. Star Wars, Jurassic Park, like you name it, it's just, and then you get a whole group of folks. Then you put it on a lunchbox, and there it is. There it is.
Boom.
Nostalgia makes me nauseous.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have much room to speak because my ass literally bought the full series of Xena and Hercules with Kevin Sorbo and Lucy Lawless.
But you're
On
watching
top
the
of the-
original.
The
But you're
original.
watching the original. That's
No,
The
different.
fucking original.
Watch
Okay,
original
and-
anything.
And I'm
don't know.
rewatching Beastmaster. Holy shit, that show is so bad.
Right?
What's
Sarah said she was
Original
watching
is
The Last
great.
Airbender.
I'm watching
That's a
Avatar. That shit is
throwback.
so
I'm
good.
into the end of season 2 already. Last Airbender.
Yeah, I'm on
Guys,
season 2.
I'm watching
Oh,
season 1 of Real Housewives of New York, like, and it slaps. But I don't
Yeah,
need a
you
remake
heard-
of that season. You know?
No,
It slaps.
How
the
about
fact that-
let's talk about Outer Banks. Any Outer Banks fans out
I
there?
did
haven't
watch Outer
seen
Banks.
it.
Nate,
I
do
watched
you
it.
like it? Do you like Outer Banks? You would, because I feel
Oh.
like you would be on that
I
show.
feel like they all look
I
like
love
me.
Outer
They're all like
Banks.
white
all
and,
look like
me.
and jacked and handsome. It's like, okay.
It's like
I can't
it's
relate.
like any
It's like
other
Bloodline
like
meets One Tree Hill.
90210. What was that? 90210.
It's like
Whatever it
the
is.
Bachelor. I feel like it works for the Bachelorette crowd who fancy themselves like drama people. You know?
Mm.
I like
Agreed.
Last Man on Earth. That's what I'm watching right now.
I already watched that series when it was out, so it's just like,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
cool.
you're late, Chip.
I'm
Go
way
on.
late to that one.
It's
It's
pretty
good
good.
though. It's really good.
It's
A lot of
good.
twists and
The
turns.
apocalypse
A lot of
already
people
happened,
dying. A lot
homie.
of people coming back alive.
Did you watch
Yeah.
Dave on FX?
I loved Dave.
I haven't
Dave
seen
was
it.
dope.
It
No.
is
You're
Little-
like the
Little
Dave
Dicky.
gorilla spokesman.
Like, I just can't do it. Like, I can't even deal with an interview with
I
him
just
carrying
can't.
a series.
Oh, I
don't
love
care
him.
how good
Oh,
the writing is.
Dude, watch his freestyle on Sway in the Morning.
Yes.
Legendary.
Yes.
Legendary.
He crushed it. Nah, I'm not.
I'm writing that
I
down.
feel like the whole
Personal
series was based
I'm
off of that
writing it down.
freestyle.
Okay.
Dude,
Yeah.
he's so
I
good.
heard that actually. I
Like
think
the
No.
Jay
Golden
told me that.
spoken.
Now, as we have talked about nostalgia, moving on to the next one.
No, I want to
That's a good moderator. You're a great moderator.
He said, fuck it. Fuck it. Little Dicky's going down. This
I hate
is
this
the hill
guy.
I'm dying on.
You can log off. You can leave this fucking meeting.
Fuck Little Dicky.
Woo! Woo! Temperature rising.
Oh
Get
my
hot
God!
in
He's
here.
he's the bull in the
Cut
china
the
shop.
tension with a knife right now.
Right?
Yeah.
God damn. Jeez, that's Nate. If only Joe
Right,
was here.
yeah.
Hot
You have
damn.
the floor, sorry.
All
Wait,
right.
Did anybody else on their first day of basic, when you had to do a kitchen scene or do space work, you did this for a knife because of years of pretending like that
Oh,
was
no.
chopping something?
No.
I did this with
No.
scissors. I did this with
Idiot.
I
scissors.
did
Yeah,
this
yeah,
with the phone.
The phone.
This-
It's like
this
is,
in there.
When have you
They-
ever done
Um,
chopping
yeah.
like this?
That's how
I
Jay
just like
grew up.
always would like chop
Chopping
like that.
is this.
It's that.
Right.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Right.
What are you
Yeah.
what are you doing there, Chips? What are you
Face
doing?
work.
What are you doing there?
I'm chopping.
Are you?
Yeah, you are.
Are you
Chop, chop.
chopping? Are you really?
It looks like you're playing a drum real slow.
Well, I'm
That's
slow.
You look like I need to give you a
I
tip
play at
right
my
now.
speed.
Like
Oh my
I need to
God.
hit a button to be giving you.
If
That's what you look
only.
like.
We should totally get tips for this shit.
Nate, shirt off, bro. We're at the halfway point.
Dude, we're at the halfway point.
Yeah. Well, Nate's taking his shirt off like he promised. In our lovely group chat.
I got some bad sunburn, so
We
You
can't even
see your
see
camera's
it.
You're
dark
dark,
anyway.
dude.
You're dark as shit.
Yeah, Nate, like, can
Turn
you
a
put on
light
a
on.
light?
It's getting darker. Like I think by the end, Nate's just gonna be like in a black room. Like,
The rest of this podcast is roast Nate.
I thought Kyle was gonna be on here. I was looking forward to
Yeah.
that. Kyle, if you watch this
Dude,
later.
Kyle and
The
those puppies,
roast
man. They're
Kyle.
killing me,
Alright.
man.
Oh, there we go. Now we can
That's
see
better.
Nate.
Oh, hey, it's
We
Nate.
still don't see no sunburn. And your shirt's still on. Wonderful.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, now going back to the topic at hand. Now, as I was saying, nostalgia is still the key proponent for television series. So, A League of Their Own, the movie that most people have known with Rosie
Oh,
O'Donnell
yeah.
and a few other
Uh,
people
no
have
crying
officially
baseball.
got the
Are you
full
crying?
cast set for Amazon's comedic reboot. Now, the full cast includes Abby Jackson as Carrie Shaw, Darcy Carden from The Good Place, Shantae Adams. Nope, I'm not going to try and pronounce this goddamn name. I apologize to whoever this name is. Not gonna. I'm gonna spell it. This is the first name spelled: GBEMISOLA. Last name IKUMELO.
Gemislo? What was that?
I'm
Very
just
weak getting
gonna
a crotch shot
I
from
barely
the
speak
right now.
English, so that was
that
difficult in the first place.
no. You have Kelly McCormick as Jess, Roberta Colindrez as Mita, Priscilla Delgado as Izzy, and Melly Field as Joe.
I've
Is
never
there-
heard of
Darcy
one of these
Carden.
people in my life.
So it's
So-
supposed to be
Cool.
set in like the 1930s, 1920s, or whatever.
I believe so. 1943. So the project, which is currently in the pilot stage, has already begun production in Southern California, follows brand new characters, and begins from the formation of the league in 1943, and follows the league and its players as they fight to keep it alive through close games, injuries, sexual awakenings, because there's women. Let's put some sexual awakenings in there.
Yeah,
Because you need some sex scenes to keep it interesting, apparently.
Wow.
Road trips across
Well,
a
I
rapidly
mean,
changing
what?
USA, and a couple former AAGB PL players as serving consultants on the series.
It's going to be interesting seeing that in Zoom form.
Yeah, seriously.
But
Where are they actually filming? That's my question. I'm going to see the
film
desert.
it in South
Iceland.
Korea, guys.
The
South
great
Korea.
Yes, all their baseball games are being shown right
Yeah.
now on E ESPN.
And that one white dude is like back in the back on TV.
Dennis Rodman?
Good for
Talk
him.
about Dennis
Yeah,
Rodman?
that one.
Dennis-
Dennis Rodman.
Sure, ain't Dennis Rodman. Have you guys watched the original movie?
Yeah.
I know I haven't.
Oh, no. I thought you were about to ask about Last
Great
Dance.
film.
I remember Rosie wearing yellow.
Rosie, Madonna, don't forget.
I
Tom
own
Hanks.
a lead film. Madonna, Rosie
Yeah, Gina
O'Donnell.
Davis.
We're
Oh, I
talking-
think
Davis.
it's
Tom
Madonna,
Hanks.
Rosie O'Donnell.
No.
The
It's Rosie
sister
O'Donnell and Madonna.
character.
It was a movie.
Yeah.
Yes, it
yeah,
was a
Tom
movie.
Hanks' first
Tank
scene
Girl,
comes in
whatever
just-
her name is.
I mean, was
Is it
Charlie's
Tank Girl?
Angels good? The remake? No, it was literally a piece of shit. So unfortunately, I
The
think
first
it's
remake
a
was
piece of
good.
shit.
I like Chris.
Strong opinion. I
Damn.
think this is like,
Shots fired on that one.
I didn't
Didn't
see
look
that
good.
reboot, but I think I stand by my point of reboots and that I just want to keep the OG,
I'm
the
with
OG,
Sarah.
and move on.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
people,
OG.
studios are afraid to take risks before COVID on franchises. That's why everything's been reboots and like comic book movies.
Well, it's going to get worse now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Now they have to have
Could
a
be reboots
guaranteed
and
audience.
Well, I
Nate,
mean,
did you want to say
Ghost.
something?
Nicole
Reboots.
has to weigh in somehow. So.
Yeah.
Reboots.
I'd like to weigh in here.
All right, Nate. You're up.
So I
Drop the
totally
headings.
am on board to a certain degree. I think it really just depends on just who's involved in it, like if it's a fresh take on it kind of thing. Because like I'm excited for more Avatar movies because I know James Cameron's behind all of it. But like I know with like Fuller House and with Girl Meets World and with like a bunch of other reboot, like the Terminator series, like most of the people who were not involved in the original vision are going to be involved. And so I think not only that, but also I think just before, like, it was a lot more annoying than now, where I was going to make that point too when we were first talking about like how production's going to like pick back up. I think at this point, there's probably studios that are not only like clinging to reboots that they know worked, but they're also like, I know for a fact there was some shows that were probably going to get the axe, but because they know that at least they have that viewership and they like really have no idea how much new content or what that's going to be or if it's going to work, you know, when they're going to film, I think that they like have to kind of do that right now. So I think it's like, it's my opinion of it's different now than it was then. Like I understand it a lot more of like just wanting to take content that works, if that makes sense.
That's fair.
But I think
Very
that
fair.
there's a big difference between a reboot and a sequel, right? Because what you were saying is it's a continuation of
Yes.
the
Yeah,
story.
true.
You want to know
Yeah,
what happens.
that
I
part
think
made it.
Avatar, they already planned like 20 of them.
Right.
when
Or
they
like
went into it.
even like Girl Meets World, right? Girl Meets World, it's not as if they got a brand new, it's not
Right.
like it, right?
Mhm.
It is the exact same story. They're just retelling it.
Yeah.
It's just doing it all over again.
Just
Have
with
you seen
girls
Next
instead of boys.
21 Jump Street?
Yes.
The 20,
I love those
the-
movies.
I actually
Nick
like
Offerman.
21 Jump Street.
Those were
Yeah,
good.
I did
The
too. Yeah,
police
those are
chief-
great.
But it was a
he, like,
completely different take
self-effacing
from the
said-
show.
Right. They
'Cause
knew
the show
they were
was
like,
drama.
hey guys, it's a remake.
Right. Well, and the
Yes.
show was drama, right?
It's a remake, but they did the courtesy of making sure to have some of the original characters like debut in it. So it you kind of see
I mean,
where
I
they
think
are.
that's still a reboot just because of people like
It
the
is.
old characters are
Mhm.
there. It's still a different take. Because the Girl Meets World, that's not the same story because it's a girl now. It's not
What?
like the
Whoa,
problem.
what are you
so
saying about
different.
girls?
How dare you?
Oh, wow.
Girls have crushes too.
Yeah.
What? We have emotions?
Feelings, thoughts?
Well, here's a really good one. Ghostbusters.
We'll see
I was
about
Right.
just thinking that.
The female Ghostbusters, right? They completely changed the entire story, and it's not a continuation of the previous ones. Whereas the one that's coming out relatively soon, that
Looks
is a
dope.
continuation.
Yep.
of
They get the
story.
old school vehicle, like
Which
the
to me is so
grandfathers.
dumb. They just need to leave Ghostbusters alone. I
Mhm.
love the
Looks
original
cool. I
Ghostbusters.
don't know. I'm kind of
I agree with
excited
you.
for
it.
it.
Won't though, because now that they tried it and it failed, they're gonna definitely try at least one more time.
At
Did
least.
it fail?
What do you
Yes.
think about like
Feels
big
hard.
It was a
films,
pretty terrible
like-
movie.
I think it did well in the box office though.
It did decent in the
Whatever.
box office, but popular
the
opinion
remake.
was
Yeah, but they didn't
not
make
on
a
their side.
sequel. They were trying to do like a
Ghostbusters?
whole trilogy.
Yes.
Mm.
In that respect, I'm not arguing that whether. I mean, who's to say what is a failure and what's not? You know.
Very
What
true, because
is time?
if it made money, which it did, it
Money.
still made money.
Money.
It
It's-
could still
it's-
be successful.
Mhm.
You can have you can have like an Oscar-winning film, but if no one paid for it,
Then it's a
You guys see
failure.
Parasite? Did you see
Oh,
Oh
Parasite?
yeah. Oh yeah. They're
I
making a
have not
sequel
yet.
out of that.
Oh,
my
man.
God,
Neither
Parasite's
have I. I know it's on Hulu right now, and I can watch it for free. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's like,
It's so good.
It's
You guys,
really
it's like
It's so
the
scary.
best. You have to watch it.
very
so-
But
disturbing.
Apparently they have like 120 shooting days, which is like what big budget action movies get, and it's a drama. So it's just like, you know,
Time.
But isn't the
That's-
cinematography like on a
What?
new level?
Mhm.
So which is
everything
why they give
is
it that
like
long?
so perfectly
Mhm.
like fucking planned, and it all relates to the theme, and it's
but how
like,
do they get the
beautiful.
bugs to act?
Oh my god.
Dude, I don't know,
dude,
man.
science.
And the microscopes that they had to film with to get all the way down there to see them.
Bananas.
Chips.
Yeah, it
Chips,
was
you
like
totally yes
Rick
anded
Moranis
me.
and
Thank
Honey, I Shrunk
you.
the Kids all over again.
Bananas.
Yeah.
Yes
I
anded
think
me.
it was Andy Serkis.
Yeah,
He played all of
totally
the
did it.
microscopic. He green
He was
screened
the
the microscopic.
All right, so moving
Parasite.
on to the next piece of news. Now, we talked about a little bit how pretty much everything's probably going to move to animation. So, speak of the devil, according to Entertainment Weekly, Mark Hamill and Lena Headey to lead voice cast for Kevin Smith's Master of the Universe. Now, we all know Mark Hamill, and we
I
also
saw
know
that.
Lena from Game of Thrones, the best bitchy queen known to man.
Yes, Mom.
What are you guys excited about it? There's no word yet on exactly when it'll be airing, but
He-Man,
it is
right?
coming out.
Masters
They
of
both
Universe.
have amazing voices. If you watch the 90s Batman cartoon where
Oh,
Mark
yeah.
Hamill
Joker.
plays the
Joker,
Joker,
yeah.
it's haunting. He's
Yeah,
so
he's
amazing.
horrifying.
Yeah, you have to watch the Batman animated series if you haven't too. It's
Yes.
so fun.
And then
So
he
he's just
also
a
does the
brilliant-
voice for one of the video games too, and it was
Yeah.
it
No,
was-
to me, he's more the definitive Joker than any of the actors are. Same thing
Oh,
with
for
like Kevin
sure.
Conroy's Batman. You know, like that's a definitive Batman
Yeah.
voice.
Like that's
Yeah.
his own. Now, according
Yeah.
to Entertainment Weekly, Revolution will focus on the unresolved storylines of the iconic characters, picking up where they left off decades ago in the original cartoon. Writers for the series include Mark Burton from Castle Rock, Eric Casso, Dia Marsher, and I'm probably destroying these names, and I apologize in advance, Tim Sheridan, and you can already check out a poster online now of what it looks like, and it will be hitting Netflix from the looks of it.
So wait,
I'll be
Masters of
watching.
the Universe, like He-Man?
Yeah, like He-Man. So you have assembled our Master of the Universe series will let any lifelong He-Man fan know we're treating this cartoon seriously and honoring the legend of Eternia with A-list talent.
I'm sorry, but there's so. I'm sorry. Looking back now, especially as a gay man, there are so many homosexual undertones about that damn cartoon. I'm sorry. The guy's name is
the
Man
onesie.
Yeah.
I
Man
mean-
at Arms, and you know that Skeletor was just a jealous bitch. That's all he was. And Orko,
You hating
Orko
Skeletor.
He was a passed over gimp, man. Nobody
I
ever
guess-
wanted to.
no, and I can say it right. I'm gay, so I can say this. Orko, that was gay.
Oh,
I mean,
Okay.
Orko, oh, He-Man! Oh no!
so our resident gay man has spoken. What the fuck is that?
What
Chip?
is that?
It's
Is that
my
an
cat's tail.
Oh my God,
Is that a
Oh.
real
that
cat?
was a little
My
scary
cat's
at one
tail.
point.
It's
Okay.
super confusing with the green screen going on.
Very upsetting.
Again, right along
That
with
was
Masters of the
disturbing.
Universe.
That was so creepy.
Ooh.
That was an image.
See,
Look at
totally
her
a
go.
cat.
Okay, it's real.
Not my furry
All right.
wiener.
That
It's
cat
real.
was scared out of its mind.
If you ever write a
Not
book,
my
just call
furry
it My
wiener.
Furry Wiener.
My furry wiener. Name of your sex tape.
Wow, who called it? All right, now moving on. Who was fans of The Witcher? Because I know I was.
I saw the first episode and
I
the
didn't see it.
fight scenes and stuff were dope. I just never.
To be honest, it took a minute because the first 2 episodes I watched it, I'm like, God, this is
It was
kind of
slow.
slow. And I know a lot of
play
people
around
were
with
like,
time.
confused. Yeah, a lot of
It was
people were
like,
confused because of the
am I-
timeline and not knowing what's going on. So what I did was I just looked
Yeah.
up the episode after to
Right.
explain it to make sure I was on the right path.
The names
Once I
were,
did, it was actually pretty good.
The names are hard to follow too. They start
There's a
throwing
lot of
out
shit
a
going
lot of
on.
names
Mhm.
right off the
Yeah.
beginning, and I feel like if you don't play the video games,
I mean,
I
I
don't play
figured.
the games. I
Yeah,
don't play the games,
I
but
didn't play
I
the
was
games. I'm a
like, hey, I
Skyrim
like
boy.
the guy.
Jay, we're
He's
not doing
pretty cool.
characters right now.
Oh, sorry.
yeah, Jay.
Curious.
Oh,
Is that
sorry.
an
You
accent?
saved that for the last 10 minutes, Jay.
My
Jesus.
bad.
Isn't The
Jesus.
Witcher like similar to Schitt's Creek, where it got a resurgence like 4 years after it actually came out? Like people didn't watch it at all until like a few
It
years
just-
later.
No.
It's brand new.
Is that
Because
not
the
brand
pictures
new.
of Henry
Never mind.
Cavill came out.
Henry
No, you're
Cavill's
not
in it
wrong.
and he gets naked. That's all I care about,
No.
even though you don't
Never
see his little
mind.
ass.
You're so
Are you
jacked.
thinking Arrested Development?
Yes, I think that's what
Yeah.
you're thinking, Nina.
Yeah.
I totally think that's what you're thinking.
I'm gonna tell you what I think you mean, Nina.
Oh,
Please
okay.
do.
Let me mansplain to you.
That's what we need.
Mansplainer number 1, Chips.
I wish I could put a thumbs down in reaction, but all I have is this.
It only makes me pop.
Flip your screens upside down while I
Chips
go sit in
mansplains the
corner.
world.
Chips, that's pretty funny.
That's
Hey,
what this
but I caught
podcast
it.
has turned into. Mansplain the world. Now, according to comicbook.com, where I get a lot of my information, The Witcher Season 2 has reportedly offered roles to Michael Keaton and Mads Mikkelsen, who you might know as the red-bearded man who was into Brianna of Tarth from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, baby.
I love him.
Oh.
So,
Oh, that's a different guy. Matt Michelson is Hannibal.
you're right.
And the bad
thank
guy
you.
from Casino
I'm-
know.
but technically, he's also got
Yeah.
offered the role.
He's in
as
Doc
well.
Oh,
Strange.
sick.
But I'm still.
Oh my god, I love the redhead guy. He had coronavirus.
He did.
Oh.
Yeah,
He
Torment.
did.
He's
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Norman.
he beat its
Yeah,
head in. Because he's a
The
walker.
Rona.
because he's a walker.
He had the Rona.
He got the Rona.
Gingers are more susceptible.
Exactly. But my thing is,
People
what
told
do you
me
think
I'm his
Michael Keaton's
cousin.
going to bring to the show? Oh,
What show?
I mean,
Seen the tall woman.
Michael Keaton's a legend. He's a Pittsburgh guy. It's my hometown. No
oh,
big deal.
really?
But yeah, he was also the original Batman in the Tim Burton, the first 2.
Yes.
Crush.
I was.
Very true.
So I think that if you look at his filmography, Jack Frost, popular holiday movie.
No Dad is better
What?
than No Dad.
We're talking Birdman. We're talking
Mr.
Thank
Mom.
you for talking
talking
about Jack
Beetlejuice.
Frost. That's a really good movie.
Wow,
Beetlejuice.
Jack
Plays over
Frost.
Jack
That's
Frost.
freaking random.
It doesn't
Academy
make
Award
any
nominee
sense.
Jack
It does
Frost.
not.
What, Jack Frost?
Like
Yes.
Michael Keaton, I just remember he was a rock star, like 47-year-old man. He's like a hot rock star and like on the road. And like that, to me, watching that at like 10 years old, I just knew that really didn't add up.
What?
Like
Michael
they played him off as like this like young,
Chasing
like,
the dream.
sexy rock star, but he's literally in his late 40s and clearly like a father. You know what I mean? With like a receding hairline.
So
Yeah,
that
that was
so
the
that
point,
movie
Josh.
lifted the veil for you.
He
It
was
was Jack
still
Frost.
he was still doing shows for the fan base that he had built up over the years. It's like if John Bon Jovi went out and did like a.
How many times have you seen Jack Frost?
Jesus,
Yeah.
dude. Do you really? You must really like Michael Keaton.
Don't
You are a
bring Bon
official
Jovi
fan.
into this.
I mean, huge fan. Huge fan.
Is it because he comes from your hometown? Is that it?
I mean, he's a phenomenal actor.
I
too.
mean that too. Yes, we
Yeah.
all
Good
love
fellow
him.
thespian.
That's bad. Now, according to comicbook.com, Netflix says that they offered them the role, but apparently they turned it down, but there's still no official word yet on that. However, apparently
the
Mark
show?
Hamill has been posting about possibly being cast as Weissmere, but he still has not been asked. Would you want to see Mark Hamill in The Witcher?
I'll see Mark Hamill in anything. I'm so sad that they got rid of him in the Star Wars like
Got
OG
rid of him, period.
storyline. Yeah.
I mean, but he
Not out.
wanted to get out. Like,
Really?
let's be
I
honest.
finally saw it.
They
The
fired
Rise
him.
of Skywalker. I finally saw it. I fell asleep. I don't know how many times.
Really? What about Babu Freak, dude?
Yeah,
He's
Babu
the
Freak.
man.
Damn.
Lolo, were you just tired?
Remember,
Maybe you didn't get enough sleep the night
That's
before.
it.
No.
That's it.
It was just like chase the damn MacGuffin the whole entire time. Like that's all it was just.
And it was exactly Return of the Jedi. It was just they were like, "Hey guys, how about the same thing?" And guess what?
and
It's the
then
same
it
villain.
was.
It's
They
the
had so
Emperor.
many chances to take it away from that, and they just brought it all the way back.
No,
I
they
will
played it so safe.
her
They
being
clowned us.
spoiler alert, right?
Spoiler alert.
It's been out for like a year. I think spoiler alerts are no longer needed.
Palpatine's granddaughter. I didn't see that coming.
That
I did
was
not see
cool.
that
Like,
shit coming.
Yo, that was pretty dope.
I liked her yellow lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
Ray's
like it?
hot.
I'm going back home.
Wow,
Talk
Nate.
about
I will say that. But the thing I didn't like though was John Boyega's character wasn't named Finn.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't like how I thought it's supposed to be like they were like building a love story between him and the other former.
Dude, the
Now.
fans canceled that shit.
you know how hard, like literally, first off, Finn's character himself was fucking
Yeah.
annoying. He
Oh.
drove me insane.
He
The
just
fact that we have a
screamed all the
main
time.
cast member that's black, first off, great. But then he's
He was
annoying
good in
as
the
shit.
first two.
Yeah.
But then when they brought
He
Lando
just was annoying
Calrissian
in
back
that.
with the
I'm
Colt
sorry,
45,
Lando Calrissian was not a main
what?
cast though. Lando was
When they
great.
brought back Lando, I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, shit's gonna get real."
In the originals, yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
like
not.
Finn was stupid. And poor Mary Tran, the poor little Asian girl, got screwed by fans because for some reason Star Wars fans are dicks. Like I just
They're
don't
racist
under-
assholes, let me
Yeah.
tell
I
you.
don't understand
Oh, was that a Star Wars
it.
doll?
No,
No,
it's,
this is Khal
yeah,
that's
Drogo.
Khal Drogo from Game
Oh,
of
I
Thrones
thought that was
on HBO.
Jay. I thought
You
you made that.
uncultured
Yeah, they do.
swine,
Yeah.
Nina.
It looks like you.
My coworker gave it to me because she was like,
That's
my
why.
ex gave me this, and it looks like it.
I was like, and I don't
Cool.
want it.
Does your Khal Drogo want to make out with my Jon Snow?
Uh,
Whoa.
My Jesus.
my
Yeah,
queen.
they are.
Let's do it.
Well, I gotta take it out of the box
Nate?
if they're gonna make out.
You were saying
Alicia, I like your background. It's very fitting for this
Yeah.
conversation.
exactly.
But
That's
I see a
why.
remote inside of a
Popcorn.
popcorn
I was
bowl.
wondering about that.
Yes.
That
That
is
doesn't
Don't worry
that
about the
doesn't
remote.
sit right with me.
Is it not sitting right with you? Fine.
The grease. The
Here.
grease stains.
It's actually a chocolate bar.
Is that better for you?
Is that real?
Ooh.
Oh, you're watching TV. I'm like, what the hell is that behind you?
I thought
We're
you
talking
were-
about television news, so there's a
You
television.
guys
in the
didn't
back.
know that
Mm.
Alicia has a third arm on her butt?
Yeah.
It's the remote
know?
and controls it behind her.
Yeah, it's controlling the screen behind me. It's a miracle. You would never figure it out. It's great. All right, so my last bit of news. I mean, I have more, but because we're on a shorter time, I'm not going to waste y'all's time. So I am a huge fan of the Percy Jackson movies, even though I know people of the book are not fans of it because it sucked. However, I never read the book because I'm not a reader, so I'm a watcher. But the series has officially decided to come to Disney Plus, and it's in development. Now, who actually read the books and who actually wants to see it?
Chips,
I read
nerd.
the books. I loved the books. The
Yeah, you
movie
read
was so-so, but it had what's her name, Alexa or Alicia or
An A?
Alicia.
Teresa
Gil-
Palmer. Is it
Alicia
Teresa
Keys?
Palmer?
No, she was in the True Detective show.
Oh, which one? Oh, with the blue eyes.
Yes.
Oh,
my
the
God.
main girl? That's Athena's daughter?
Yeah, Athena's daughter. Yeah. So
That's
she's
cool.
if
Oh, what's
she's
her
in the
name?
series, I'm signed on.
She's
I love her.
beautiful.
I liked
Um,
Logan Lerman. I thought he was good as Percy.
I thought Logan Lerman was
He
great
is
too,
good.
but they totally added stuff in that wasn't in the books at all.
Well, I
So
need-
I feel like the
Mhm.
series will give them more options to explore the actual books.
I know that's
Mm.
what fans are hoping for.
Well,
According
yeah,
to
I thought it was
Variety.com, Rick has officially decided, followed up with a statement which reads, "We can't say much more at this stage, but we are very excited about the idea of a live-action series of the highest quality, following the storyline of the original Percy Jackson 5-book series, starting with the Lightning Thief in season 1. Rest assured that Becky and I will be involved in person in every aspect of the show." So I'm guessing those, and
So
that
they're
is
gonna
the
redo
writer.
the whole thing. So it's not going to be a continuation from the
Yeah.
movies.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this is
So it's
going to be
like
a
a bu-
completely
it's-
separate thing. They're starting all over again, fresh cast. There's no word on the casting. Who knows? They might get Logan, but he's also
It's
doing
like
another
it's
Amazon
like a Buffy the
series.
Vampire Slayer, right?
Yeah.
Completely different than the original movie.
true. I wonder if they would keep. I mean, I wouldn't mind the original cast because the original cast didn't bother me. So, but they probably will get someone new.
I like Uma Thurman as Medusa. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Damn,
That was like one of my
I
favorite
slept
scenes.
on this series, but I love young adult and fantasy, so
Yeah, that
I'm
sounds
sure I would
dope.
like it.
You love young adults.
You love
Young adult,
young adults,
the
Jay.
series.
You gotta
Like
shave the beard before you say stuff
like
like
the
that, man.
Mockingbird.
No, he has fantasies about young adults. Okay.
Oh, that he wishes he
Dude,
could
Outer
act upon
Banks,
but
bro.
won't because of
Watch
Oh my
society.
And then
Got
here
it.
comes Nate with the Outer Banks thing again.
Kick my foot.
Dude,
Just
Outer Banks,
put it-
all that stuff is totally okay. No judgment.
No
Dude,
judgment.
Wait, can I just real talk, or were you still doing the Percy Jackson?
No, we are moving on. We are
Time to
moving
go
on.
off
So
with the
Nate,
ball.
say what you would like to say. The floor
No,
is
no,
yours,
that's
sir.
a real
I just
talk.
just wanted to real quick touch. Did anyone watch Too Hot to Handle?
Sounds.
Francesca,
I feel like
I don't think I
I'm,
did.
I'm currently
Alright.
watching the Butterfly one where they
what's that?
like the Great British Baking Show, but with not butterflies, but with flowers.
The
Oh my
they're
god!
making arrangements.
What a
Like
weird
flower arrange,
misconnection
yeah,
in the chick's
it's
brain.
adorable.
I love it.
Were they? I imagine like dead butterflies, and they had to like decorate.
Yeah, I was
things
like, what
with
is
them.
this butterfly?
I hate
Jesus.
that.
That's a dark
Mhm.
show.
They have to
Wow.
pin butterflies
Butterflies?
in each other's
Did you
foreheads.
guys watch The Last Dance?
No.
No.
I
Wait,
did. I watched
The one
it.
with Jennifer
I watched
Lopez,
it.
right?
No, it was Michael
I
Douglas.
love Jennifer
Michael
Lopez.
Jordan's
Love
documentary.
her. But no, the
Me
Michael
too.
Jordan.
I don't think I did.
Yeah.
I did not.
Wait, all right.
So
It's
good.
great. I became an
Yeah,
alcoholic.
I watched every episode twice.
I've loved it so much. I literally like, I don't know what the Chicago Bulls are, but I highly recommend it.
I
It's,
bought
like,
Phil
actually
Jackson's
very good
book.
TV.
I was like, Phil Jackson's my new hero. He's like a stoner hippie, but also very successful.
Wait, is he the dude that walks around with him all the time and he's like, what?
No, he's the coach, the former coach.
Yeah.
It's
All
not
right.
the it's not the blonde dude with the curly hair that goes, what?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's got the Jerry curl.
Yeah.
Oh, the security guard
That's
guy.
the security
Yeah, the
guard.
security guard guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
my new hero.
The only one
Great
that I
mullet.
actually watched,
No one
like,
likes a mullet.
because I don't really binge a lot, but the one I actually did was Ruby and the Queen. Is that what it's called? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not Ruby and the Queen. It's AJ and the Queen.
AJ and the Queen.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know why Ruby.
It
came-
was good, but the kid drove me insane. Like I
Tried
get
too
they were
hard.
acting, but ooh, it was just like so much. I love
Ooh.
RuPaul, but god damn, that child was annoying as shit. And I see why it got canceled. It needed to. It just didn't happen. Like I don't feel like the storyline was gonna go anywhere. It was kind of like, okay, they found what they needed to. Great, wonderful day.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to move on to some quickie celebrity gossip / just information on the world. And then I'm going to ask for you guys' quick opinions on some movies. And then sadly, we'll have to part. So to get things kicked off, a series that I literally rewatched in November. And I was so happy to rewatch it because it was so bad, but I loved it. Twilight has officially getting a prequel with
Yes.
Midnight Sun. According to E! Online, on Monday, Stephanie Myers announced that she will be releasing the highly anticipated Twilight prequel, Midnight Sun, on August 4th. Fans of the popular series will recall that the book, which is told in perspective of vampire heartthrob Edward Cullen, was originally set to be released in 2008, but was delayed a crap ton of years after a couple of Myers' manuscripts were leaked. Instead, she decided to release the online draft. Eager fans are excited and waiting, and August 4th is going to be some freaking mania.
I hope they force him to come back and do another movie.
I hope he's on
kicking and
contract.
screaming. I hope that
Edward.
they
And
make
they
him
throw him on screen.
and they throw him on
They
screen.
wouldn't have
And
to
he goes,
Kick
no,
and scream.
I did the Lighthouse. You'll take me seriously. And they'll go,
No
no,
way,
we're going to
dude.
put sparkles on you and you're going to fucking love it.
How many zeros are on that check?
Yeah, that's the question at
Oh, okay,
hand.
I'll do it.
Okay, here's
Be
my
like,
thing.
how
Sorry,
much
Cedric Diggory, get your ass back in
Yeah.
there.
I read those books and I actually I did like that series and I was like there in the theater, but like now I have no interest in going back and watching that. Like, so
I don't
what-
want to relive that.
I don't want to.
I was listening to emo music at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's always on like.
I was
TNT
reading
or
good
something.
literature.
Well,
I
did you
feel
guys
like-
see that there's the new
okay.
Hunger Games novel out too?
Oh,
Yep.
Yes, I saw that.
Oh,
There's
that's,
so many novels out.
Reboots
People
and
are actually going to have to
reboots.
read.
I'm here.
I
For
mean, I think if a new Harry Potter novel came out, that's a different story. But I think they're like thinking that these girls who are 14 years old now 10 years later are
At that
15
time.
years later. They're not interested. It's actually like, I mean, I know Jay is interested in like fantasies by young adults, but like, not everybody is.
Yeah, we're not all like Jay.
Damn,
Yeah.
she called you out.
I love young adults
Novels.
and fantasy.
As long as
Novels.
you put the word adult
He's
in
doubling
there,
down.
you're fine.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know.
I mean, to be
I
honest,
think
I would be happy for another vampire movie. I have no
I think
shame.
you're right
Yeah.
though, as far as that goes, because all the reboots or whatever from things from the 80s and 90s, they're the people who loved those are actually the ones in the driver's seat to reboot them, right?
Yeah.
I think trying to do the young adult ones from just 2008, those people aren't necessarily in the driver's seat yet. So they're trying to reboot something for an audience just to try to get them back into it, but they're not asking for it. It's not.
But also, have you seen True Blood? Like that's like an elevated
Okay.
adult take
Mhm.
on
Love
vampires.
I'm
I'm gonna
It's
start rewatching it because I kind of like got into True Blood
Okay.
the middle of the like I
Yeah,
think
maybe
season
HBO
2, and I never watched then I started
Mm.
watching it.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
the best
really
line
good.
from
That's
True
for
Blood was
fancy adults.
Republican. That was like the best line
What
ever.
was it?
Yeah.
Republican. They were like getting dressed to go to this ball, and literally she's like,
Oh
"Oh,
my
look at me!
God.
I look like a Republican." It was great.
Oh shit, that's so good.
It was
Such a
the
good
best
film.
line ever written. I hope that was written. If it was not and that was improvised, then damn, she deserved a
Even
fucking
better.
Emmy for that one. It was great. Wonderful. Now, even though Twilight, I mean, if you think about it, we have Twilight that's coming back. Books are coming back because what else is there to do besides actually fucking read? So is there any specific books that you guys are reading right now in quarantine that you think should be a movie or should be a television show? Question.
I'm reading Harry Potter. I'm rereading the series.
They should
I-
make that a movie. Those are good books.
Yeah, those are
Yeah,
good
they should,
fucking books,
think
dude.
about really. I mean, it's kind of a hidden gem, but I think there's a lot.
Which
of
one?
Harry Potter, really indie, yeah, really niche, underground
I've
stuff.
never heard of that.
Yeah.
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 It's like this little boy, and then they're like, "Dude, you're different."
Yeah, young
Dude,
adult.
even little boys, man.
11-year-old
It's-
young adult living under in a closet.
It's a coming of age story. He's coming.
Okay. Really?
But
Really,
in
Jay?
all seriousness, I read a Keith Richards biography. I
Mhm.
think for sure they'll make that into a movie.
Probably.
Starring Johnny Depp.
You don't
What
look
a
pretty
life.
sure.
Right?
What a life.
I mean,
I don't know,
did you
I've-
hear that they dropped Johnny Depp from Pirates? So homie's probably free.
Like, is anyone gonna watch Pirates without him? No. Like, can we
No.
just stop with those?
Is anyone gonna
sorry,
watch any
what?
more
The
Pirates?
last one, right?
No more
2011.
pirates.
It's
The last
over.
one was just
Oh yeah, two times ago.
It's crazy
And
that
was
they made
no
so
one.
many movies based off of a ride in a boat.
they should,
That
Oh,
is
yo,
crazy.
ho, yo.
A lot of
ho.
movies have been made off of a ride.
of
Jungle
less.
Cruise is
Up
coming
less.
out.
Futureland or Tomorrowland with George Clooney. Don't know why I saw
Tomorrowland
that
was
movie.
the shittiest movie. It made
Wow.
It
no
looks
sense.
good, but I
I mean, have
didn't
you
see
seen
it.
Christmas with the Cranks?
I love
That's-
that movie. I
That's
love
the
Tim
shit.
Allen.
You
Like,
guys just keep breaking my heart.
Well, the next one is Jungle Cruise that's coming out with The Rock, but I can't tell if it's
Emily
Jumanji.
Blunt.
I can't tell if it when you look at it, like it looks like
Jumanji
every
without
Jumanji
Kevin Hart?
Yeah, no, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Kevin
Very
Hart is
well.
so. Jack Black makes Jumanji too. The second one.
I
Oh
love.
my god.
Do you guys watch
Oh.
his stream, Jablinski Games?
I have not.
No.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
He plays video games with his son, and his son just shit talks the whole time. And
Shut
like
up.
Jack Black just tries to like play down the awkward things his son says, and he's like, "Oh, he'll grow up and see that the things he's saying are weird."
See, I
and
just
it's just
haven't
like
seen
him
that.
playing Red Dead Redemption and being weird. It's awesome.
I love that game.
Oh my God. All right. So moving on to one thing that is driving me insane. I'm a musical fan. I enjoy the movies and I also enjoy plays and Broadway. But for some reason, CBS, according to theatermania.com, has decided to replace this year's Tony Awards with the frickin' Grease Sing a Frickin' Long.
What?
I do not know why. Apparently, it will be airing on Sunday, June 7th at 8:30 p.m. The broadcast will feature on-screen lyrics for all the movie songs, including Summer Nights, You're the One I Want, Hopelessly Devoted to You, and of course, just stupidity all
Is
around.
it live?
It's
Why
not
they're
live because
replacing the
And no-
Tonys? Oh, maybe that's
It
why.
sounds like
then.
somebody's
think they-
jealous of the
Vanessa
Disney
Hudgens
family
one?
sing-along.
Yeah,
I think
but
the
it's also
Tonys, like,
why not just do a live award
theaters-
show?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Nate, what were you saying?
I'm confused. What's
What's it
Music.
doing?
they're showing
What,
like
who's Tony? Who's the tiger?
yeah, Big Tony. You know Big Tony.
Yeah. Hey,
No,
Tom!
I
Tony.
just got
Why
a
is
pizza
it
with
the
Tony
Tony
this
Award?
morning.
Oh, great. Bunch of
But no, so
improvers.
it's gonna be like a Zoom call, FaceTime.
No.
No.
So pretty much what's going to happen is instead of broadcasting the Tony Awards, they will be putting the movie Grease on, but they're going to make it a sing-along by having the words bounce across the screen when the songs come on.
Why does that replace it though? Like,
Yeah,
why
that makes no-
instead? What is
Because
it?
I think
Yeah,
that,
isn't
like,
it on Netflix?
No, it's going to be on CBS.
I think
Because
that
the
the
airtime has
theater
already been
community
parceled out for
is
the show.
racing for impact, and the Tony Award, like, as a theater person, like, I understand why they did this. It's the
Yeah.
Broadway League. They do the Tonys. They're foreseeing 2020. Absolutely, the rest of 2020.
2020 is done
$1
for theater.
dollar will be made in the
That's
theater
right.
industry, and I think they're
Yeah.
like trying to use those funds to like literally maintain American theater. So like it sucks, but I do get it because like
Yeah.
we're not going to see a play until 2021. How fucking sad is that?
Straight up.
That's,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey,
no,
not
that
if we
actually
go to
makes
Florida,
sense.
guys. Let's just all get on the
airtime's
bus.
already been
True.
purchased, right? So you
Dude,
have all this.
Florida's
ads-
having UFC. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I mean, you have that advertising, you have that space already purchased way in advance. It's already down there. You have an audience that's used to coming in at that time. What do you think about the theater geeks
Mhm.
are going to want to do in lieu of an award show?
Yeah.
I don't want Grease. I want a
Technology.
risky production. Give me something really risky.
Right?
I just don't
Avenue
know. I feel like they could have
Wicked.
done. There's so many things that they've been doing, like the iHeartRadio stuff and the Disney sing-along stuff, where people are filming from home. I don't know why they can't. They've come so far with being able to produce music live and on Zoom and stuff like that. That
Very true.
I don't know why they can't invite a couple cast members to come in.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, we know Frozen, the musical, has officially not coming back. It is officially closed, so that's jobs out the window. There's so many productions that are happening that they could literally get those people just to perform a few songs
Yeah.
and fill up an hour like they do for stupid Disney. Like, I'm sorry, but I really don't want to watch Ariana Grande sing like Hercules for another time again. It's
No.
like
yeah.
I'm over those little things because I'm over Disney doing it. Just dumb.
They're showing the movie? But, I mean, it's just Grease the movie.
Yes,
is
it's
all they're
Grease the
showing.
movie.
Oh,
It's-
I thought it was like oh.
They're not doing it live. Fox already
Oh.
did that. They're literally just replaying the movie.
I mean, yeah, there's some
Sing-along.
pretty
Are you with lyrics?
Yes.
politically.
Did y'all not listen to the
So it's
description?
karaoke. It's a movie karaoke.
It's
So
like the bouncy thing in the
it's the
90s.
bouncy. Yes.
Did you
Yeah,
guys
like
see
the
the High
Disney
School
movies?
Musical? I don't know what network it was on, but the High School Musical sing along.
No.
I heard it was like kind of sad.
I bet I wouldn't not.
Was it
I
like
mean,
Vanessa Hudgens
on the
and?
screen, so I was happy.
You're happy? Okay.
All right, as
Oh,
long as Nate's happy, guys, we can all go home.
Happy, so
Yeah,
this
what
is
are you
fun.
talking about it?
All right. So now with celebrity gossip and other things, Adele is coming out with a new album, which I'm very happy for. Sam Smith is coming out with a new album. What artists do you think should be dropping a new? Oh, excuse me, Nate. What is? I know you're not hating on Sam Smith right now or Adele.
I mean,
What is-
I'm not gonna hate on him. Not a Sam Smith
Sounds like
guy.
you're gonna hate on him.
Not
Totally
not
agree.
my personal taste.
You don't like Sam Smith?
I enjoy good music.
I mean, his music's good.
Wait, so we're asked what we want, who we
Oh,
want.
who should
Yes. Who else? Because I didn't finish the question. That was my fault. But who else do you think should drop an album while they're at it? Because I mean, artists have literally nothing but time. I mean, for heaven's sakes, Tyga and Homie from TikTok did "I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house bored" and dropped that shit on the radio. It's actually pretty good. I'll give them that.
I did. I think it was Alicia Keys, and I'm sorry if I'm fucking this up. But I was listening to a podcast about someone saying that or was it Rihanna? I don't remember who it was. Somebody was like, fans were getting on artists about this, and a lot of artists are doing like a lot to help COVID relief, and they're kind of like fucking hop off. I'm not saying this is for all artists, because there's definitely some that are like doing shit. I'm sure people are making music, but I did hear like a point against this that was like, we're really trying to help what's going on in the world right now, so please get off our back about making new music, because we're like putting all of our efforts into, I mean, I can't say that's for everybody, but
I mean,
Well,
that's
it's
fair.
Clown Posse,
Yeah, no, I
they
feel
canceled
that.
their festival, so
I
So
mean,
sad, dude. I know so many people who work in both film and music and the live end of things, and it's like jobs lost big time.
Because
And
it's all the crews, all the
Yeah.
set designers, all the
See
lighting
some
people.
workers who like that was their income that lived like in India and stuff. Like, really feel for them.
okay, so before
Tomorrow, I
some
think
people,
should
we're
really-
finishing up now. We have about 5 minutes left, but before we go, some quickie movie discussion. So it's time for another background, and we're gonna move into. I know,
You should
right?
send us these backgrounds so we can all do them at the same
Yeah.
time.
It's called
live
Google.
there.
Streamline.
It's
Oh,
Google.
All right,
never
Google
heard of
movie.
it. Never heard of
oh,
her.
let me Google it.
Who is
Google.
she?
This is the Block AMC, the theater I usually go to.
Ooh,
Or
I like the
Regals.
block.
Down my
Oh,
street.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
an
I've been
ArcLight
there.
boy.
It's now called the Outlets of Orange, but that shit was the Block when I grew up, so it stays the Block.
Now called closed.
Now, the reason I have the Block photo up here, because I think it's perfect, because AMC, as hopefully some of you guys know, has decided to threaten Universal for playing Trolls and saying, even though I listened to what Universal said and I listened to what AMC said, and AMC's being a little bitch about it. They being petty as hell. They salting that wound right now. But pretty much for those of you who do not know, AMC has hit hard at Universal Pictures, announcing it will no longer play any of the studio's films in the wake of NBC Universal's CEO Jeff Shell's promise to open titles on premium and in theaters at the same time. Universal used the PVOD format to release Trolls World War Tour, which and it's not World War, it's Trolls World Tour. I just wanted to say war.
I was wondering about that war.
It was a war. Let's be honest. It was a war for music. Okay, let's be honest.
I think it's a good play on words.
Exactly, right? Yeah. But in all reality, I preferred watching movies in theaters. But if freaking AMC wants to be little babies about this, because they didn't say they're not going to release movies at AMC, they just said we're also going to do PO. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's stupid. They're already suffering so hard.
Yeah, it's a pride thing. Like,
the movie theaters, people hardly go anyway. That's why they've had to soup them all up with the recliner chairs and all the
which are
amenities
gross.
and
So
stuff.
many butts.
You have to turn it into a home, right? You got to be able to compete with people's living rooms. Is what they're having to do. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they've always had to do that. They did that back when everything started hitting DVD and home. So that's when 3D came out, so they could compete with that. But now certain TVs can actually do 3D, even though it's really
if
dumb.
You think about like a drama, right? Anything that gets nominated for Best Picture, typically you don't even need to go to the theater to watch it because it's a drama. It fits on the small screen, you know, unless it's an MCU Marvel movie that you need to see it big.
Yes, you need to see that shit and big.
I'm fine watching so many of these, like, you know, movies just right here. I'm fine.
On the phone? You watch movies on your phone?
That hurts my soul.
Oh my Are you one of the people?
Stars.
If I
Did
have
you
to,
download Ghibli?
I was raising my hand, but I was doing like
yes,
out there.
I figured that. Nate, would you like to answer? Would you like to respond? Okay.
Yeah, so I totally get that low. I just personally, even just like looking back on like why I first even wanted to be like an actor in the first place, is just like every time you go, this sounds cheesy, but like every time I go to the theater to watch anything, and I think especially with like the indie films and dramas and like Manchester by the Sea, like I saw that in theaters, and like I've watched it after that, and I know it wouldn't have been nearly as powerful if I hadn't just seen it. Because also when you're watching stuff at home, just naturally you're gonna like look at your phone.
Get distracted.
Or you'll go to the bathroom or whatever, or you have like people around you who are doing those things too.
Pause it.
Like for me personally, I think it kind of takes, it's like almost like paying your respects for like a production and like for them to start to finish to go see it in theaters and just like support them like that. And I do acknowledge like obviously there's people who are gonna like be like most people in like 20 years you're gonna be able to afford like home theaters just because technology will be at that point. So it'll be like that. But personally, yeah, I really hope that it doesn't like do as much damage to theaters as I think it will, because I really like going to stuff.
Oh, I agree. I don't get me wrong. I still love going to the movies, but in this case, what Alicia's talking about with AMC being a little bitch about it, I mean, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
Universal's also got to make money too. Like,
Yep.
It's just a business
Yeah.
move. It's like their lawyer told them, "Hey, here's a good opportunity to recoup some losses from no attendees for 2 months. Like,
Yeah.
go sue this big company who will like maybe settle, and you'll get a couple million or however, you know."
yeah.
Exactly.
Hey guys, should we sue some people? this
Yeah,
week?
why not?
I've been
AMC.
looking. I'm like, who can I
Hmm.
sue?
Money.
But I feel
Who
like
can we do it to?
the
But I-
reason they're making the releases for television, I mean, for like streaming services and in theaters, is because it makes it more accessible to people who
course.
can't go and drop 20 tickets
Yeah.
per person, like
Totally,
larger 8
dude.
family,
Yeah.
like paying $20 once to sit at home and watch it. Like,
And you can rent it for like 2 days. But
Yeah,
I'm definitely on. I totally understand where Nate's coming from, because that's the reason I love
Mhm.
movies so much, is because it's like this adrenaline rush when you get into a theater. It's like, ooh, is it gonna be good? And then
Yeah.
the surround sound and that feeling of being in a seat
Yeah.
and being with like a crowded theater and everyone, like
Strangers.
Mhm.
literally
Yeah.
no one can ever take away the moment Captain America picked up fucking Thor's hammer and our theater went insane. Like it
Oh yeah,
was
when everyone
Well,
gets
what
that
what
one.
happened in the theater?
I was
what
there.
happened. We were like clapping, screaming. Some people
I
stood
love
up.
those movies.
One dude like
Yeah.
ran around the theater because he was like, "We fucking knew it."
and
Oh
you're
my
all
God.
in it
I would have
together.
tripped him.
Right.
In this day
But
and age,
even,
I would
like-
call 911. I'd be like, sit down, sir. I do not.
Oh my god, right? But did you see Uncut Gems, or a movie
yes.
that like
Oh, I
makes
haven't
you
seen that.
uncomfortable? Like if I was at home, I would have paused it because it would have been like, oh god, like this is
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I need
yeah.
a break for a second. But I'm
Yeah.
glad that like I couldn't escape that like situation they were throwing you into. It was nice.
I
Yeah,
saw
I
a
hope they
movie-
like cuff us.
All right, hold on, guys. So we're gonna have to say goodbye to Lowell. Thank you,
Bye,
Lowell,
guys.
for joining us.
Lowell!
I appreciate it.
Oh,
We miss
Thank
you,
You.
and
Miss
we'll
you guys.
talk to you soon.
Thanks. Hey, thanks for the invite, Alicia. This was so much fun. It was great hanging out with you guys.
It
I
was.
miss you
We will do
all.
it again.
Hope to hold you soon.
Hopefully, we can go to Dark Room and have some fun.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Hello.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, so to finish off, one thing is for sure, according to comicbook.com, movie theaters in US are set to reopen with 200 locations after coronavirus shut down. So the thing is, I mean, I can see how they can do it due to the fact spacing wise, and plus with all the new theater luxury recliners and stuff like that, you have a lot more space in between you. But how do you think this is going to work?
They're building new theaters.
No, they're just opening them up. So they're reopening theaters.
When are they gonna open it?
No word yet. It really depends on the area, but according to comicbook.com, states with open locations include Texas, Arkansas, Georgia, Oklahoma, South Dakota have started to lift their business closures by requiring them to enforce social distancing and other precautions. Now, I know California has been saying that they will be adding temperature screenings and all that stuff before you even walk into a place, and probably tons of hand sanitizer stations. Whoever makes hand sanitizer is going to make bank this whole fucking year. Clorox wipes, Lysol, they rolling in some money. Fucking
You know, your
Jeff Bezos.
urine actually acts as a natural sanitizer.
No,
Mm.
that's for stings.
No, you got if you
Did
just pee on your
everybody,
hands and shake everybody's
People are-
hands, spread it
Towel.
around, give it to people. It's
I'm sorry.
really healthy.
What movie are we going to see again in the theater?
Yeah, exactly.
What
How
movie am I
they're planning on reopening to go see
What?
Greek live?
I mean,
A League of Their
Come
Own.
on.
League of
Moana.
Their Own, that's it. I mean, who knows? There's still movies coming out. They'll probably put Trolls back in. I mean, a few Lin-Manuel,
They're talking about
right?
Christopher Nolan's new movie.
Yeah.
Tenet. Like,
Looks
that's
sick.
supposed to be the first big one. So they're really just waiting on whether he's willing to release it to like a certain amount of states, or if he's gonna push it back, because he's definitely not gonna go to a streaming service, even if it's
No.
like the holidays by the
Yeah.
time that happens. But
Same thing with Lin-Manuel. He was smart enough to pull In the Heights because he knows that was going to be a really big release in August. That was a
I
summer
know.
movie that a lot of people wanted to see. And
I'm
he's
so
like, no.
sad
Yeah,
it's
dude.
not coming out. Like that would be so nice to have right now, like to look forward to. That is, it's just so sad.
Now
But
you gotta
we get
wait.
Hamilton. I can finally see it on the Disney Plus on July.
True.
I swear
See
to
it on
God,
the
it's
Plus.
gonna be
Wait,
amazing.
did I ever say this in class that my dad went to Hamilton in New
I think
York?
you did.
Yeah, and he was like, eh.
He was like, no, he was like,
Be rap.
I
he
don't
was
see
like,
what the
I didn't know they were gonna rap.
Yeah.
You had no information.
No
I love
idea.
you, Dad.
It's there.
Okay.
I'm so excited for that. I'm gonna do a freaking watch party at my house, but you have to. It's a sing along. If you don't know the goddamn lyrics, you got to get the hell out. You have to sing and perform that
fair.
shit. I've already seen
Good.
Hamilton, luckily in LA, with someone who I know that's in the cast. He was actually pretty good, but he's
Ooh.
kind of a butt. I'm just saying.
It's a butt.
But
He spilled.
I hope he watches your butt.
He's
I don't know anything about
he
that.
won't because he's not following me. So it's all
Oh, I
good.
miss you guys. I want to take classes again.
Oh my God,
I miss class.
Let's just hope it's like end of summer. I don't care if it's 8 people. Like
Yeah.
let's just hope.
Serious, because I need
they
to
made you
do
sign-
other things besides do grocery shopping for people in their homes. I'm over
Yeah.
it. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, even like the Zoom classes are just like.
It's
had
not
to,
the
like,
same to me.
How
They're
was that,
exhausting
Sarah?
now.
How
They're,
was
they're
it?
what?
They're exhausting, and honestly, like I feel like the more I've like done, I haven't done that many, but like sometimes I'm just like, what is happening? Like this is just like it's not the same, and I feel like depending on the teacher, it's like I don't like being introduced to you this way. I want it to be you in
Mhm.
person, and I don't like this being the impression because like it's just a fucking
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
You're just
And
another
it's
face on the
weird.
screen. You're
just
not like an actual person.
That Good Girls class that I signed up for, it actually ended up being canceled because not enough people signed up. And she wrote like I think it's cool that maybe people don't want to be on Zoom for hours at a time. Like I think it's cool that
like 2 hours is a really long time to be on a Zoom call, especially when like some of the time, like even when I was in a class with Sarah, and like some of the times when we'd be doing like a warm-up game, there would be like one person who just like every time through would somehow just like, I don't know if he just like wasn't paying attention or what, but like if that does it, it just like makes it so
Throws it all off.
like, whereas, like if you're in class with someone, it's almost like, I mean, if nothing else, you at least feel those people being like, come on, get it together, as opposed to just
Shut
being,
up, Kyle. I love you, Kyle.
Slap them around a bit.
yeah, slap them around, teach them how we do things.
I
But
mean,
no,
I
it
feel-
is. I agree
it
with
all
Sarah.
sucks.
Guys, where's
A lot.
Jacob?
A lot. Jake.
Dude, Jacob,
He-
Julian,
Zero.
Is
Julian's
he
dad
still in
left.
the group chat?
No, because it's a new group chat.
It is a
You
new.
can't say that live.
Guess what?
We're live.
Technically,
They're
it's
gonna
recorded.
use it.
We're not live, so we're fine.
Edit that
Oh.
out.
Be like,
I mean, Jacob's been waiting in the waiting room since like 7:30, so maybe.
yeah, I've just been like leaving him there. I was like, I'm not in the mood for Jacob. I'm just like, it's there. It's fucking there. Well, at the end of the day, I know I follow one of my talent managers pages for actors, and a lot of people have constantly been asking the question, are Zoom classes good? Are Zoom classes? And you always have half and half where people are like, you need to stay up on top of your acting skills. You can't just sit on your ass, which is true. I mean, I practice monologues as much as I can when I have like energy to do it. But at the end of the day, it's nothing takes away from an in-person experience and working with someone who can get you there. Because Zoom can only do so fucking much. Like, really, it really can.
Beyond that, we're like dropping money, and it's like I love staying on top of
Money.
the class. I was saving
Lots
money
of
for the
fucking money.
final classes, and that
They
shit's
didn't lower
like-
the prices, really. It's
I'm
like
like,
it's not. They should. Yeah.
It's
they
kind
should
of
ridiculous.
modify it.
When I saw that a class for Groundlings for like 4 weeks was $175, I'm just like, really?
They were 130, and then they actually did raise them. But I mean, the thing is, I understand.
Yeah,
that they
170.
yeah, they opened them up too, which I think is great. But it also presents different, like, interesting things as well. And like, I don't know. I overall think that they are helpful if you want to like keep up with things. But I just think like nothing will ever
Mhm.
compare to the in person. Like that's just hands down.
Yeah.
Of course.
Energy is real. Like
And it's
the
like,
energy
oh,
in the
yeah.
room.
It's okay to not be productive right now too. Like I feel like this is a really weird time, and like some days I definitely don't feel creative or like and I think that's like fine. And once we
Exactly.
see each other in person, we'll just go crazy. I can't wait.
If I didn't have a job, I would have lost my mind 2 days into quarantine. I would have lost my mind.
I'm losing
because-
my job. I started furlough, and I'm like,
Yeah, I'm partial furlough, so I'm like,
Well, you can always do deliveries, guys. They're always hiring new people.
I'm
You
I
make
literally
sure
wake
you
up and I
on
just
the
like
train.
try to do the same thing.
Damn.
What?
Sorry to hear that.
Well-
So
Well,
unemployment checks are honestly not that bad right now.
No, I am making more money on
they're-
unemployment than I have at any other job.
Any-
So this has
Yeah,
actually been
like
great for me.
I'm saving money.
I get to
right
stay
now.
home.
oh yeah, the
Yeah.
money I'm saving, I'm doing way better at saving money because I'm not spending it on shit. Like I
'Cause you're
bought
like,
more
I think
food.
what
I
the
only buy
fuck?
groceries.
I feel
I
very
literally buy
forced.
groceries and like some little things here and there for like, oh, I can finally buy the annual year subscription for like Actors Access. Great, I'll buy it
Right.
now. But
Yeah,
that's
even
like it.
uploading videos to Actors Access where it's like $40 a minute or some shit.
It's so stupid.
Really?
It's
Yeah, like I've been able to do all that stuff and like even like putting money aside like for classes and like for headshots in the future and stuff too.
Yeah. Because this is the time I'm gonna fucking play with some hair color while I need fucking new
Yeah, I'm
headshots
growing
what are
anyway.
you gonna do?
I wanted to
dyed
do
my hair.
silver, but then I was
You
like,
did?
I like your hair.
It's
no.
What
dark.
color?
It's black. It's darker now.
Is
Let's
it?
see, it's
Is it
Severus
darker?
Snape.
It used to be a dark brown and now it's like a darker brown.
Oh wow,
Darker
Ooh.
brown?
It's midnight.
you're really partying right
Yeah.
there.
I feel like your
That's it.
hair looks different, Sarah.
It's called
Slightly.
fading. I haven't been able to dye my
Oh.
hair.
It's called faded.
Faded. It's called quarantine, baby.
Nice. It looks good.
All right, so to finish this off, we talked about movies, we talked about TV, we talked about what's kind of happening with us, with the world's craziness. Do you guys have any last thoughts before we finish on anything you would like to say?
Watch Tiger King on Netflix. Joe Exotic 2020.
Hashtag
Wow.
Fire Nation sucks. Avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just keep on getting out there. Do something positive for yourself or for others.
Can I say something on behalf of Nate? Outer Banks, baby.
Yeah,
Banks.
Outer Banks.
That's it.
Hey, and you guys should watch this new show called Last Man on Earth.
Folks,
It's
for
really
sure.
good. I don't know if
Wow,
any
it's
of you guys-
new? Who would have thunk
Brand
that?
new.
Wait,
It's
can you guys remind me who's in A League of Their Own, the original, the remake? Or the
Madonna.
original?
There's no
We're
doubt.
talking-
Gina Davis.
Fucking
Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie
We're
O'Donnell
talking
and
Gina Davis.
Hey.
Colin
Hanks.
Firth.
don't forget.
Hanks.
Dude, don't
Wait.
get Nate started, man. Like you're
I do have
ramping him
one
up right
question.
now.
Can we all do like a happy hour where we have to come to one of our characters?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it'd be
Alicia,
fun.
sorry, you
Yeah,
have to
right?
be the
Only
beer
if
guy.
I can
I
come
know.
as all of the members
no,
of
but that's
Mumford
pretty
and
chill.
Sons.
I'm
Wait,
gonna
no, we
totally
have
have
to
to be
play
the bear guy.
trivia or like a murder mystery as our character.
I have
Oh.
Harry Potter trivia here.
Bust
Harry
it out.
Potter.
Like a
What's
scene
up?
I know nothing
Snape.
about Harry Potter. I know a
Can
little
you
bit.
screen share your scene at this? Nate?
Severus Snape.
There you go. Screen share that shit.
Dumbledore.
Thank you all for coming on and joining me
thanks
for my
for,
podcast.
For having us. This was great. I miss you guys a lot for sure.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Miss
we've
you
all been
all.
in touch also.
Hopefully
Thank
next time we can get everybody. I know Joey's still fucking traveling like a crazy man.
Yeah, he was in Florida too. We don't want his germs.
No.
Yeah.
What
But
are you
Stay in
let's-
Florida.
Those dirty Floridians.
Yeah.
Let's think
I
of
don't know
a
anything
fun
about
collab that we could do.
that.
That's like a Zoom call
Yeah.
sketch.
It is.
You
Yeah,
know,
we,
We
where
should
we
do like
totally
Hollywood
could.
Pyramid.
I have
but
I have a wig I've been trying to use. Let's do it.
Oh my god.
Let's just stand across from each other on the street and yell.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
not? Yeah. Who's stopping us?
Yeah.
I got a long lens.
Wear a mask.
I mean, LA's gonna open up soon anyway. You know, just it's fine. We'll just stand in a
Look,
circle.
I just
So
knocked
we
on
could go
wood.
to Big Bear. Big
We
Bear
could.
just opened. Big Bear said, "Fuck the Governor Newsom. I'm opening it up," and it's opened right now.
Just like that.
do they
They
all
said
talk
it
like
was
that?
wrong.
I've never been.
Yeah, it's mountain
Mr.
time.
Big Bear himself came right down from the big.
Oh,
Mr.
Woo, we opening it.
Mr. Big Bear to you.
oh my god. Well, this has been For Entertainment. Hopefully, guys, this has been a new experiment because I've never done a Zoom call / podcast recording. So this was fun. This was different. I enjoyed it. I appreciate my guests for coming on. Follow them and all of their socials that I have posted up on top. You guys should be able to see it. Nina sings, we all act, we're all crazy fuckers, and we just love improv. So stay tuned for more future shows. We will see. But everyone have a great night. I will talk to y'all soon. Thanks again for coming on, and we'll figure out how we can make our sketch situation happen. Pretty much.
Alicia.
Alicia.
No
Thank you,
problem.
Alicia.
Thanks, Alicia.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Guys.